Morning, folks. It's 6:25. Just left camp about 5 minutes ago. The sun was taking an absolute age to come up over the canyon walls, so I decided to move on. I was also getting swarmed by mosquitoes, which is why I'm hiking in my waterproofs at the moment, trousers and top. As soon as I opened the tent door this morning, they were all over me. Little bloodsuckers. Thoroughly enjoyed my rest yesterday. Last night, I have never ever seen stars like I saw last night. I must have spent about 2 hours taking photographs. I think I said before, each exposure takes 12 minutes on the camera, so you kind of got to set it off, get back in the tent, wait 12 minutes, get out of the tent. But I think I got a couple of good ones. As usual, I'll try and splice them in somewhere. A couple will probably be up on my Instagram page as well, if you follow me on there. But I believe it's about 13 point something miles to Muir Trail Ranch today. I've run out of gas. I just had enough gas this morning to make myself a coffee. And I haven't actually got a great deal of food left after the eating marathon that I had yesterday. I've got an extremely full trash bag there, which I'd love to get rid of. I don't know if that's possible at Muir Trail Ranch or not. One thing I'm hoping for today is some signal or some Wi-Fi. Find out where Amelia is and how she's getting on. I think there's going to be quite a few little stream crossings today. Water crossings. Managed to dry out all my socks yesterday, but one pair of them has a huge hole in the heel, similar to what happened to the other pair of down toughs, and they're also like cardboard, again with all the dirt and stuff in them. So if I can find somewhere in Mammoth that does the down tough sock exchange. Basically, if you don't know, down tough socks are guaranteed for life. So if you buy a pair and they go into a hole or they've got a defect, you can either mail them back to Down Tough and get a brand new pair in return, or you can take them to a store that participates in the exchange scheme and get a brand new pair that way. Not everywhere that stocks the socks does that though. So it's just a matter of finding somewhere that does it, and then finding somewhere that's got the ones that you want in the right size. Alright, so it's 8:10. I've just been hiking with a guy called Purple for the last 4 or 5 miles or so. Cool guy, it's his Triple Crown this year. He's done the AT and the CDT already. We're in Evolution Creek, and we're taking the alternate path, which means we have to cross this thing. And it is just a case of, wading across, unfortunately. No other choice. The other way, the main PCT route, is exactly the same, but deeper and stronger flowing. Whoa. Oh man, that's quite difficult to walk through. So that should be, hopefully, the 2 crossings done. But yeah, Purple is quite a fast hiker, I will say. I'm just trying to find the trail again now. With it being an alternate, it's not marked all that well. Not all that obvious. Well, that's the alternate done. Didn't take long at all. I thought it was a lot longer than that, but it was only a really small stretch. And it looked like, from what I could see of this, I'm going to call it river, made the right decision doing the alternate as well, because this river looks seriously wide, strong and quite powerful. I was a bit rushed before, sorry, there was a junction where you could take the PCT or the alternate, and we stopped there to de-layer. I was still hiking in my waterproofs and it's actually quite warm now. But literally, as soon as you showed any sort of bare skin, there were mosquitoes everywhere. It's by far the worst I've seen them so far on trail. It was like a cloud of them just descended upon us. Purple had about 30 or 40 of them on his back, and that was through his sun hoodie. They were biting through his sun hoodie. They are really, really aggressive little things. I've got a spray thing of repellent with me. Just lent it to a woman behind me. She was getting eaten alive as well. So that's why I was moving fast. I took my waterproof pants off, took my waterproof jacket off. I've not even done my gaiters up properly. I was in that much of a rush to get out of there. I even nearly left my waterproof pants on the floor. I just saw them as I was walking off. Most of the walk this morning has been through forests like this. And we're now, I think, for quite a while following this Evolution Creek, I think it's called. It's not a river, creek. Seen a few more hikers today than I did the last couple of days. Oh, it looks like Purple sat there taking a break. Maybe see if he wants some mosquito stuff as well. He's hiked the Arizona Trail as well, which I'm really jealous of. That's one I really, really would like to do. Pretty much all desert scenery. Stunning. Oh, he's got a waterfall seat. Wow. It's pretty impressive. It's about 9:20 and I have about 4.5 miles to go to the junction where you turn off to Muir Trail Ranch, and then I believe something like 1.5 miles to the ranch from there. Maybe not quite that. Been running my phone on airplane mode all the time to save battery, but the last couple of hours I've just taken it off. Kind of looks like there might have been a bit of signal in some places, but it just wouldn't wouldn't come through. So very frustrating. At least the mosquitoes have abated for now anyway. Well, I don't know if it's just because I've been used to not seeing a great deal of other hikers the last few days, but this morning there are so many people in this area on trail. PCTers must have passed probably 15 or 20 this morning so far. I guess there's maybe been a big bottleneck of people around Muir Pass maybe that I've run into, but they're all faces that I don't recognise. It's quite strange coming across people one after another. The trail in places this morning, the trail's been just like one long straight stretch through a forest, and you could just see in front like people dotted out like a little train. It's probably the first time I've seen that on trail since right at the beginning. I think most people are headed for VVR, Vermilion Valley Resort. As I said before, I don't think Muir Trail Ranch is as popular. Basically VVR does like food and they've got a shop there. You can send resupply boxes there for a lot less than you can to Muir Trail Ranch, and they don't have to be in buckets, they can just be boxes. If memory serves, I think it's about $20 possibly for the fee to ship a box there. So you've got to pay your postage and then pay VVR the $20 fee. That's what a lot of people seem to do to break the food carry up until Mammoth. It is a lot further off trail though. It's I think it's something like 7 miles off trail. I believe they do have cabins that you can rent, possibly. But if you're interested, you can go and obviously have a look on their website, Vermilion Valley Resort. Just Google that, or VVR, PCT. See what it's all about. This is a very scenic stretch following this river. I know that much. Right in the bottom of this canyon, these towering cliffs above us. The trail's actually quite nice as well. All the way to Muir Trail Ranch. There's not a great deal of ascent at all. Most of it is descent. It's making for pretty easy walking at the moment, he says, as he comes across a huge tree trunk across the trail. And some very dodgy placed rocks. Yeah, it is very pretty. It's very scenic. It's not quite got the wow factor the last few days I've had. They've been just off the scale, scenery wise. Talking to Purple this morning when I was hiking with him, he was camped a similar sort of spot to me, but on a different bluff, on a different high point, and he said, look at that. He said the stars were amazing last night as well. He's right, it was, I don't think I've ever seen the stars like that. There's basically zero light pollution. It was just beautiful, and the alpenglow after the sunset seemed to last for like an hour and a half, I want to say. It was like the sky was on fire, just glowing this beautiful bright orange colour on the horizon. So nice. So I'm a little less than a mile away from the turn off to the ranch. It's really strange. I've been that used to like the big open sweeping panoramas and the rock cliffs and the flowing water, even the sound of the rushing water the past probably 3 or 4 days, that it just seems here in the forest deathly quiet. You can still hear a faint rush of water in the distance. I think you do go down by the river again when you go down to the ranch. But it's just so peaceful. There's not even a great deal of... There's a little breeze, but not a great deal. I seem to have passed like the mini bubble of hikers around here. The last guy I saw was just at that bridge that I filmed, just filling some water up. It's very serene down here though. So the ranch that I'm going to, Muir Trail Ranch, as I said, it's not actually on the PCT, it's about a 1.5 mile detour, something like that. It's a family-owned guest ranch, so they don't specifically cater for PCT hikers. I guess it's kind of like a sideline. That and the JMT hikers as well, they use that quite a lot. They do have cabins and tent cabins that you can stay in. I think, given the location, they command quite a price. I can't remember what it was, and I've got a feeling it was like the cheapest option was like $250 a night. But obviously you get all the amenities with that. shower, bed, electric, and a nice accommodation. And I think as well, possibly, don't quote me, but I think you get at least one meal included, if not more than one. So it is a working ranch. They've been very clear about that on the website and the instructions. There's certain areas that you shouldn't be venturing into because they do have a lot of, I guess, livestock, horses, mules, dogs as well. So it'll be interesting to see what the setup's like when I get there. I've heard mixed reports on it so far. I'll judge for myself when I get there. I know with it being so relatively expensive, $95 for the fee to send a bucket of food there. I mean, I guess if there's two of you sharing a bucket, that's not too bad. You know, you can kind of stretch to that, but $95 per person if you've got a big resupply. And I think that's why, a lot of people tend to head off trail the 7 miles to VVR. That and the fact that I think they do food as well. So you can get a little fix of food before carrying on to Mammoth in a few days' time. One thing I'm not too certain about, when we were planning, we planned that it was going to be a 6-day food carry from Muir Trail Ranch to Mammoth. Now looking on the app, it's only 40 some miles, about 45 or 48 miles to where you get off. So I don't really know where we've got 6 days from. And unfortunately, that means there's 6 days worth of food waiting for me in a bucket up here, which I'll probably carry in a good chunk of that all the way into a hotel at Mammoth. So that's slightly annoying. But I suppose it's better to have too much than too little. I found the turn off. It wasn't actually signposted for Muir Trail Ranch. Somebody had just either scrawled it on there or carved it on there. MTR. Nonetheless, I'm partway down the path now and it is extremely pretty. Just so still. All these cones littering the floor. Stopped to empty my shoes because taking my gaiters off to take my rain pants off earlier, I didn't put my gaiters back on properly, and I think as well wading through the two rivers, got a lot of rubbish inside my shoes. It's been annoying me, so I stopped to take them off and empty them, and attacked by mosquitoes again, so I've just reapplied some repellent. Probably got washed off last time. Thought it was all downhill to the ranch, but it certainly isn't. Quite a large, it's as long as my trekking poles, or as wide as my trekking poles. And they're set to 115 centimetres. Sorry for the metric. It's over a metre in length, which is, let's say, roughly 4 feet. This one looks like it might be even bigger. Walking around. Oh. Wow. I bet that made a bit of a noise when it came down. It's massive. It's just after 11 a.m. and I've worked my way down the trail to Muir Trail Ranch. You can see from the signposts here, I want to be going left for the backpacker resupply and store. And then the ranch, if you're on stock animals, straight down the hill. But I'm going this way. It's an odd one. I really don't know what to expect at all. When it says store, I was led to believe they basically just sold like camping gas and like maybe a few other essential items. So it's going to be interesting to see what there is there. I'm not expecting any like convenience store stuff by any means. But I would imagine I'll probably be here for a few hours at least, because I do need to charge up some electrics. Still no cell phone service either, which is very disappointing and frustrating. Well, this is Muir Trail Ranch, the backpacker resupply area. It's that building there. They've got a shop with like necessities like painkillers and fuel canisters and things like that, but no food or drink. They have got the little row of buckets there on the porch. One of them's a trash can. The others are for like excess hiker items, you know, like food and drinks and first aid bits and stuff, like hiker boxes like you get at hotels and stuff. And then you've got these few areas here for seating and laying stuff out, organising your resupply. And then there is a charging station on the deck as well. So I was just sat here and two guys came in. One of them I've seen a few times before. He's called Gadget, PCT hiker. He very kindly let me message Amelia on his InReach. She just got back. She's at mile 824, which I'm guessing is, well, not guessing, it's about 36 miles behind me at the moment. So that's probably about 3 days. And then the other guy, a guy called Brian, who's works for the fire service, he has been watching my videos, which felt really strange. But hello, Brian. Hope your hike improved, my friend. I know you had a few issues in the first few days, but yeah, it was great to meet you and chat with you. And yeah, it was just a little strange meeting someone who kind of recognises you and you've got no idea. But yeah, good to chat with you. Anyway, I did send Amelia a message asking if she wanted me to carry on waiting here for her, but unfortunately Gadget had to leave before I got a reply. So I think I'm going to be stuck here for about 3 days waiting for Amelia, which could prove interesting with food, because I don't really have, even though I've just got resupplied, I've not got enough food to last 3 days of waiting here and then another 4 or 5 days on trail to Mammoth. Oh, and I have just broken a tooth as well. So that was fun. Alright guys, so what time is it? It's about 8:10. I've spent most of the day here at Muir Trail Ranch and the little seating area outside and down by the campground as well. I got here just after 11 a.m. this morning. I did manage to get a message to Amelia. She is about 30, or she was this morning about 35 miles behind me, and she's doing okay. She's fine. I was supposed to be meeting her here, and I don't think I'm going to be able to. Basically, there's quite a few reasons. It's going to take her at least 2 to 3 days to get here, and I can't stay here that long. It is, whilst it's a good resupply place, if you've mailed a bucket here, there is literally nothing else here. There's no shop that sells food or drink. There's not even any toilets for hikers to use. There's no Wi-Fi. There's no cell service. The campground, whilst it is quite nice down by the river, it is a mosquito breeding ground. I haven't come across anywhere as bad as it on the trail yet. Just as I'm talking, I can count 15 of them at least, probably more like 20 on the side of my tent. It is absolutely terrible. So I was going to leave Amelia a note on her bucket, but to do that I would have to hang around until they open in the morning, and I don't want to do that. There's a really, really big climb out of here. So what I'm going to do, I've just been checking on the app. There's some cell service about 15 miles up the trail. So I'm going to try and leave early tomorrow, get up and over Selden Pass in the morning, get the big climb out of the way, and then once I hit the cell service, I'm going to send her a couple of messages to let her know what's going on. I know she's probably going to be really upset with me, but staying here would literally mean just sitting in my tent for 2 to 3 days doing nothing, and I just can't do it. I hope she understands. So that wasn't really the plan, but I'm going to carry on towards Mammoth, get to Mammoth, hopefully, and then hopefully meet up with her there, if she's still talking to me. Anyway guys, that's the plan. Hopefully I get some sleep tonight and not spend 2 or 3 hours taking photos of stars, and get a nice early start in the morning. See you later.